Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Champions League final prediction. Only two teams remain, Manchester City and Inter Milan. Inter Milan winning the Italian Cup last month against Fiorentina in the final. Manchester City winning the FA Cup and the Premier League. So it's all to play for two informed teams in this competition. Before we start, here are the winning accumulators given to the members. Haven't been posting as much there because there's been less football, but we did have the Monday night double of Liverpool over 2.5 goals and Real Betis to win. The relegation treble, a treble where I picked a pick from all three matches involving the teams to be relegated in the Premier League at 6-1, and then just a recent Serie A home comforts treble with AC Milan and Atalanta. If you do want to support the channel and get members only tips, accumulators and stuff like that, feel free to click the join button down below or the first link in the description. And I do want to give a quick shout out to the members that would have seen those winning accumulators who joined the channel since the last episode. That is Calif Bill Clement, Joshua Ike and D Loso. So thank you all for supporting the channel. We've had an amazing season, and let's finish it off with the Champions League final. Now, I actually predicted that Manchester City would win the FA Cup final 3-1, and had Akanji got anything on the end of that ball that was squared in about the 75th minute, it probably would have ended 3-1. But Man City winning the FA Cup, and I do think they are poised to win the Champions League final. So I'm going to get my score prediction out the way early, and then I'll go through some tips and ideas for you all. So 2-0 to Manchester City. It's going to be not particularly incredible, I don't think. I believe the last three Champions League finals have all ended 1-0, and I think this will be low scoring as well. Inter Milan, they also tend to have lower scoring games, and Man City, this won't be about winning 6-0. They don't care if they win 7-0 or 1-0 in the 90th minute. If they win the Champions League, that is all that matters. They don't care if it's on penalties after a 0-0. It's just as long as they win the Champions League. That's the goal. The treble's the aim, and they are going to get it. Now, where on earth are you going to find value with odds such as these? I have a few ideas. Bearing in mind, like I said, 2-0 is the prediction. So my first tip would be Man City to win and under 3.5 goals at 2.15. So just to double your money, 1-2, 3-0 and 2-1 to Manchester City. I don't think Inter Milan score more than one if they do score, but to be honest, I don't know that Inter Milan will score. I could see them trying to hold out for a 0-0 halftime and then see how far they can take it. But I do think Man City, maybe there'll be some nerves in the first 10 minutes, and as long as Man City don't concede in those first 10 minutes, I think it will be, once the dust has settled, a fairly straightforward game for them. My next tip at similar odds of 2.2 is Man City -1 handicap, so that's 2-0, 3-0, 3-1. If it is mega high scoring, 5-0, -1 comes in. After that, another tip, Man City win to 0, so that brings in the 1-0 as opposed to handicap. That allows for the 3-0, the 4-0. Man City win to 0 at 2.37. And then, if I've got the narrative of the game slightly wrong, and let's say it is a high-scoring one, Man City to score in both halves at 2.2 is a pretty good shout as well. They could even lose 3-2, just scoring one goal in the first half and then another goal in the second half. They don't have to win the game or the half, 2.2. I also have an anytime goal scorer tip. Riyad Mahrez, big game player, knockout game player. I would wait to see the lineups, but if Mahrez starts, I'd go for Mahrez to score. If he doesn't start, then just stay away from it. So that is the caveat on that one. Also, another rogue one, we should say. Man City to be winning 1-0 at halftime and then win 2-0 at full time. Odds of 12-1. I just see this being a game where Man City dominate possession, but there's actually few clear-cut chances, and I think the occasion will slightly get to Man City, but this is the year they get the win, and I do think it will just be 2-0. And like I said, Man City will be happy with that. They won't mind how the win comes. They just will want it to arrive. So that is my UEFA Champions League final prediction. We got them to, I mean, I said that they'd win the treble months ago. Even being an Arsenal fan, I said they'd win the treble on the basis that I think Man City would win the league by not losing any games, and they didn't until they had it wrapped up. I thought they'd win the FA Cup because who would stop them? Not Manchester United. And I thought they'd win the Champions League because they are better than every team in the competition, and they made Real Madrid look like Barnsley. So no offense, Barnsley fans, but it just was, that's just the way it is, and I think Man City will win the treble. Can Inter Milan do it? Yes, they can. Nothing's impossible, but I do think this will be a game and a tie, a few surprises. Much like Champions League finals in the past, it's been, for the most part, the team you expect to win takes the win fairly comfortably. So that is going to do it for this video and this season of the full 90. If you did enjoy it, please do drop a like, subscribe. We'll going for 25,000 subscribers this year. So that would be amazing. And I will see you in the next video very soon.